Welcome back, beautiful people, to 30 Days of Joy, a Living Joyfully challenge that I started 19 days ago. I'm pretty sure this is day 19. Somewhere along the line, I may have forgotten, but I'm pretty sure that this is day 19, which means that there are 11 days left of this challenge. Although I know that I will continue the practices that I've cultivated, the most simple being of visualizing light love as a cloud of glittering gold that descends into my being and raises the energy and frequency and vibration of my cells, raising my vibration every single day. And now I sit in the sunshine, having just walked shadow, and the trees are above me. There's a blue sky. We saw some deer on our walk, and funnily enough, Shadow kind of just sat down next to me as I stood watching these deer. Like, at first she did her whole thing of jumping up and getting me muddy and being overexcitable, and then the more I just stood still and just watched these deer, she just kind of settled and sat down next to me and also began to just watch the deer. And I kept looking down at her and back up at the deer, and down at her and back up at the deer. And it was just fascinating to me that this bundle of chaotic energy could be so calm next to me on this walk in the great outdoors. And what I'm understanding, like, I think the reason I'm mentioning this story is because when you hold your center, when you hold your frequency, you impact those around you without having to do a thing. I didn't have to tell her to sit or give her a treat or yell at her or try and get her to calm down. I wasn't like, look, they're a deer, why don't you just settle? I didn't become frustrated or angry. I just stood peacefully and still and I watched the deer. I was the example. I was calm, neutral, held my center, didn't give in to any emotions either way. And my vibration impacted her enough to calm down. And you guys have been watching. If you've been watching my vlogs, you know this girl is mad. She's nuts. She's a chaotic bundle of energy. And to have her so peaceful and calm sitting next to me outdoors as well. Like, she wasn't off sniffing, running, drinking out of puddles as she usually does. She just sat with me and watched these deer. And these deer were so beautiful. Like, they were grazing, they were prancing. There was a baby deer. There was a deer with like the proper antlers. At one point, a rabbit ran past the deer. So I was watching both a rabbit and a deer out in a field in the same frame. I was like, oh my gosh, this is magical. And the more that I watched, the more I just felt the ascension symptoms I've been feeling ease a little bit. Like, this past week has been really intense. It's the week of the Virgo full moon eclipse. And it has been, for my physical body, it's been very difficult readjusting to the vibration of the UK and dealing with the paradigm shifts, the collective frequencies, because I don't watch the news, I don't keep up with current affairs, but I can feel when the collective is buzzing. I can feel it in my body when I can't sleep and my body's jerking and emotions are arising within me that came out of nowhere and don't belong to me. Like, I'm tuned in, I'm tapped in. And it's a good reminder that you can do the work for the collective without having to witness the collective shit, you know? If you're sensitive enough and if you listen to your being, your body, if you're intuitive and you hone that intuition, you can deal with it without having to also consume fear and mass media and everyone chit-chatting online about their own opinions. Because honestly, my belief is that it's out of our control. The only thing that we can control is the alchemy of lower frequencies into higher. And remember, I'm not saying that low is bad and high is good. I'm just saying that that's what it is. Denser frequencies a dense frequency, for example, a dense solid would be ice. And a higher frequency version of that state would be water. And a higher frequency still, a higher vibration still would be air. Ice is not better than air. Air is not better than water. They are just simply states. And you can freeze water to make it ice, and you can melt ice to make it water, etc. Right? It's all alchemy. It's all a chemical process. Everything happening in your body is a chemical process. Everything happening out in the world is a chemical process. It's all alchemical, right? So these have been my musings for day 19. I've got a chorus of dogs going off in the background. I am sitting on the edge of a farm. It's called Gorse's Farm, and they actually have one of those honesty shacks where they put their farm produce, and there's no one manning the till or anything. You go in, you take what you want, and you just press your card. You enter how much you own, you press your card. So I'm gonna go get some eggs, maybe some yogurt or something. I have been on a strict vegetarian diet all week to help my body kind of not have to over process. Like, there's so much going on alchemically that I didn't want to have to put stress on my body physically as well, to try and process heavy foods or meats or anything like that. So I've not had meat or dairy all week. I am actually today, it's day number 6 of my liver flush. So I all week have been doing the protocol for the amazing liver and gallbladder flush, which I'll tell you more about later, I think, maybe. So that process will begin officially tonight, the actual flush. It's all been preparation up until now. So yeah, my body's been going through it this week, and it has been a lot harder to tap into joy. I've still managed to pull myself out of darker spaces, but I've allowed myself more than 5 minutes this past week to process and deal with and allow. And the one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if like any of you can relate to this, but my mind has just been spinning and spinning and spinning to the point where nothing I do will stop her spinning. And so I use my timer method and I say, okay, spin within this time frame, because the more I try to ignore her, the louder she gets. What you resist persists, as I always say. And so yeah, mentally it's been challenging, physically it's been challenging, and emotionally my nervous system has been going through it, so it has been a lot harder to be in joy. And so I've allowed myself to settle for peace a lot of the time. And, you know, dealing with those thoughts of like, oh, you being inauthentic for not being in joy right now. You're doing this joyful challenge. You're telling everyone that you're in joy, but you're not in joy right now. And it's like I said yesterday, there are many different faces to joy, and there are many different vibrations of it, and many different things that we have to go through and things that we have to honor. Just because my mind decided that, you know, joy was going to be the state that I chose for 30 days doesn't mean that's the process, that's the frequency that I need to be in 24/7. It's more about pulling myself up when I become aware of the fact that I have strayed from joy, and allowing myself to be at peace and to be content. And I am joyful. I'm so grateful to be sitting here with blue skies and sunshine and this little puppy by my feet behaving herself. All of these trees, like the blossoms are beginning to come out a little bit. I'm about to go eat fresh produce, organic, from this beautiful farm. I'm about to cleanse myself. I wrote a song last night, which I was super, super proud of. Like, I sat with my guitar and I was channeling that full moon, and voices came through me and lyrics came through me. And so I'm super excited, because this is a wonderful, beautiful journey with me and my guitar. I've been playing her every day. Without fail, I sit for at least a couple of songs. Like, there are some songs that I go through now, and mantras that I sing, and like strings that I like to play. And so I'm like honing my fingers, because those of you who are guitar players know that you have to kind of build calluses on the end of your fingers when you play guitar. And so I've been allowing those to grow, playing every day. And yeah, a song has come through, and I've been able to like create chords for the songs that I've already written, which is really, really cool. So I am following my joy. I am in a beautiful big house. Remember, great gratitude is the pathway to joy. Whenever I find myself not in joy and become aware, because really this is an awareness challenge of when my frequency is low, how often can I become aware of that and then raise my frequency and build myself back up. And every time that I find that my frequency is out of joy, gratitude is always the way back. Gratitude is always the way back. And so if you're watching this and if you want to do something like this for yourself, like a joy challenge, right? It's a muscle. You're honing the muscle of awareness more than anything. Like, yes, you have your frequency, you have your goal that you want to stay at, but your main thing, and I guess my main reflection for this entire challenge has been that it is an awareness challenge. It is an awareness challenge. And it is a challenge that there are going to be times when you're not aware. Because I think it's kind of impossible as a human being on this planet to be aware 24/7. And in those moments when you catch yourself out of awareness and then you become aware of that, do not shame yourself. Like, this is the biggest pitfall. Do not shame yourself. Do not criticize yourself. Do not bring yourself down. Simply bring yourself back up. And every time you do that, you are honing the awareness muscle. You are maintaining frequency levels for longer periods of time. And yeah, you're becoming more and more aware. The more awareness you practice, the more aware you become. But be careful what you wish for, because honestly, awareness is kind of exhausting. Yeah. But with that, I'm gonna go get myself some eggs and I'm gonna go and jam with my guitar, do my morning practice, do my breath work, do my journaling. And yeah, oh, one more thing. So this, I may have already put out a video about this, because this challenge is going to be so spaced in terms of when I'm releasing these videos. But if you are interested, I have revamped my Ko-Fi page. I've opened my Ko-Fi space, and on my Ko-Fi space is where you will find my services. So I've currently opened my bookings for tarot readings, for intuitive astrology readings, and for Reiki with light language / sound healing. And I have tried my hardest to make it super affordable and super accessible. And I've opened up, as well as the main price services, I've opened up the same services but as donation based, and those are limited. So it's for every service I offer, I'm offering 5 services which are donation based, so that if you are low on funds and you really can't afford anything else but you really would love to work with me, then there's the opportunity. And I would just ask that you only use those slots, because they are limited, if you truly need to, so that this community becomes inclusive. And I've called my Ko-Fi page Seeds of Light, and it really is becoming my intention more and more to build a Seeds of Light community. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. I'm not sure what it will offer. I'm not sure where that will take me. But I just wanted to put it out there that the link will be down below in the box, in the comment box, with links to my services if you would like a tarot reading, an astrology birth chart reading, or Reiki with sound healing. Okay, I will catch you later.